Detroit's Renaissance Cente. For nearly 50 years, it has stood as the tallest building in the state of Michigan and is one of the most recognizable icons for the city of Detroit. A massive complex boasting more square footage than New York City's Rockefeller Center, this towering structure of steel and glass dominates the skyline. It's more than just a collection of buildings. It's an icon that tells the story of Detroit, past, present, and future. It's also a 10-time recipient of architecture's most prestigious honor, the coveted Tyler Wilkie's Favorite Building in the Whole Wide World award, beating the likes of the Burj Khalifa, One World Trade Center, and even the Great Pyramid of Giza. Join me in this 7-part series as I explore the history, legacy, and future of my favorite building. This is the RenCen. After decades of rapid expansion from the auto industry, Detroit reached its peak population in 1950. Events such as the famous 1967 riot, combined with larger societal factors like rising crime rates and federal policies that incentivize suburbanization, compounded to create a noticeable decline in Detroit's downtown, which was increasingly seen as unsafe. Henry Ford II, the grandson of exactly the person that you think he would be, decided that he wanted to do something about this. And he championed an ambitious plan that sought to revitalize the city's downtown core and restore Detroit as a thriving metropolitan hub. The plan? Create the largest single private real estate project in the history of the world and include elements to attract tourists and local businesses back to downtown through a modern, functional, and forward-looking space. This was no small task. And in order to accomplish it, Ford joined forces with other key business leaders and stakeholders to form the Detroit Renaissance, a private nonprofit organization. One of the most incredible aspects of the Detroit Renaissance is that it contained representatives from each of Detroit's big 3 automakers. Despite being cutthroat competitors, they put their rivalries aside out of love for the city and joined forces to make the project happen. The site selected was a large plot of land on Detroit's riverfront that was originally used as shipping yards for cargo headed through the Great Lakes, but had largely fallen into disrepair. The hope was to reinvigorate this prime waterfront property for public use and enjoyment. The commission decided that instead of hosting a design competition, they were going to bring in a ringer. That ringer was John Portman, who at the time had gained a lot of fame and recognition for his large-scale urban renewal projects, most notably Georgia's Peachtree Center. Members of the commission felt that he was the perfect man for the job. His works were characterized with grand atriums that blended public and private spaces together. And here is what Mr. Portman came up with. The original renderings for the project featured a massive podium that would connect every part of the facility together. The crown jewel was a hotel tower at the center that would, at the time, become the tallest hotel in the world. Surrounding the hotel would be 4 massive office towers at 39 stories each. And flanking these towers would be an additional 10 that could have been used for either residential or commercial purposes. I tried to look around and I couldn't find anything more specific than that. What I can tell you is that the 4 western towers were located above the tunnel to Canada and would have likely replaced existing facilities serving that tunnel, such as offices and customs. The final portion of the plan included these 6 condominium buildings that had stunning waterfront balconies and were also integrated with the main podium. So this plan was something that modern economists would call very expensive. In order to manage the risk involved with the sprawling project, they decided to build it in phases, with one phase being the Crown Jewel Hotel Tower and the 4 surrounding office towers. Construction commenced in 1973 when they began work on the foundation, digging deep to accommodate for pilings designed to counteract potential shifting due to the site's proximity to the Detroit River. From there, they used 2.3 million cubic feet of concrete and 25,000 tons of structural steel to frame the towers of Phase 1. By 1977, these towers were cladded in a modern glass facade and finished on the inside, officially forming the centerpiece of the Detroit skyline. Phase 2 began that same year. It included 2 additional office towers, and they completed that in 1981. The completion of this phase saw the Renaissance Center reach its final form, and unfortunately, no further phases would be completed. It does feel a little crazy to say unfortunately, because the Renaissance Center as it stood upon completion was absolutely massive, and it was still the most expensive real estate project that the world had ever seen. What was it like inside the complex? Did the Renaissance Center succeed in revitalizing Detroit's downtown? Did John Portman ever find love? Find out those answers and more next week in part 2. Until then, make sure that you subscribe so you can be notified when the video is posted. Thank you for watching, especially to you, Deborah. And I will see you all soon.